Hi guys. I think I'm going to see if many people come on before I fully start. But tonight I figured I would make these deco mesh. I think it looks better out back this far. You can actually see the mesh. So I'm going to show how to make these. I just looked it up on YouTube. They have several different ones. Some are humongous, and I thought, well, I want to make them a little bit smaller. They had some that were like the size of a big wreath. So I thought, well, I want to try to make it smaller so I can probably use them as like little embellishments on other things. So one of the things I had seen, I wanted to know if maybe a dish or a sink strainer would work. You know, it goes inside the sink drain. So I thought, well, I'll try that just to see if it works. If not, you know, I'll have a little flower. And I mean, it turned out really cute on there. And then I can just stick it on whatever I want. But then as I got to going, I kept thinking, oh, I wonder if it'll fit nice inside a wreath for the center. And that's how I ended up with that one there. So I ended up getting these at the Dollar Tree. You get a 2-piece. They're 8 inches. So I just used one. And I had some fabric. It comes in a little thing like this. I'm sure you've seen them. But they just have like little sample, like maybe 1 yard samples of fabric. And I got this at Walmart. So I thought, well, I wonder if I just shred that up a little bit and I could make a wreath and then put this in the center. You know, so it'd be in the middle of that wreath. So what I did was I cut the fabric in 1-inch strips, and then I made them 7 inches long. And then all I did was I just tied them to the wreath all the way around. The wreath has 3 separate sections, so I just had all of those. Oh, Deb, thanks. I have a smaller one too over here, and then that one is, that's the one I'm explaining right now. So all that I did was I divided up all the pieces that I cut out, the 1-inch strips that were 7 inches long. And so then I split it up into 3 sections, and then I just covered each section, and that's what ended up with this one here. And then I thought, well, I just stuck this inside it, and I did not know how I was going to attach it because there's space and it doesn't take up room on there. Well, I had seen another Facebook Live, or not Facebook, YouTube, and they had used the plastic canvas. So I have some of that, and I thought, oh, I'm going to go ahead and put plastic canvas in there. This one I'll save and embellish or just leave it on my table, who knows. But that one turned out nice. But I thought, I wonder if I can do it with that mesh on the inside. So all that I did was I set my wreath form on my square of plastic canvas and cut it out. Then I ended up taking 4 of the zip ties, and I zip tied that to it, and it worked out great. And then all that I had to do was work in the center and work my way out. So then after I did that, I thought, well, what if I didn't want a wreath? So I ended up just grabbing an embroidery hoop, and I wrapped that with green ribbon, the same ribbon that I made wire edge ribbon that I made the leaves out of. And I'll show you how to do those tonight too. And then I put the plastic canvas in the center of that one too. But all that I did was I glued that one because I didn't want to put the zip ties around it. And I mean, it held just fine with the glue. I might find later that I'll need to zip tie it. We'll see. But I wanted to try several different ways just to see what I like the most. I do like zip tying it directly to the wreath form. So I thought, well, I have this really fun, colorful deco mesh that I want to see how that looks. You know, it's not just a plain white or a plain red. I ended up getting it at the Dollar Tree. So this is what I'm using tonight. And it came like this. It's 6 inches. And there's 5 yards of it. And then all that I'm going to do is cut this into 6-inch strips. And I'll show you how to do that here in a minute. But on one of the videos, it showed where you can use cardboard too. You just cut out a square. You find the center. So you go diagonal on both sides. And then you find the center here. Go straight down and then the center here. And then you poke holes where these dots are. And then where each of those dots are, that's where you're going to put one of the flower petals. Hi, Bailey. So, what I did was I'm going to go ahead and start showing. Now, the white mesh and the red mesh that I use on those, they're the same size. But if you go to like a craft store, and even at Dollar Tree, sometimes you can find them even wider, like the 10 inch. The lady on the YouTube video said, depending on how wide it, or how wide it is, that's the same size of strips that you're wanting to cut. So since this is 6 inches, I'm going to want it 6 inch. That way it's squared up. So I'm going to go ahead and start making these petals. Oh, and we also need pipe cleaners. All I did was I cut them in half. So the pipe cleaner is normally nice and long. I snipped it in half. You need about 13 or 14 of those. Alright. And this, all I did was I wrapped the wreath form with that really colorful yarn, and it's fluffy. I've made dream catchers out of these with this yarn before, and I thought, well, you know, for Easter's coming up, I thought this should look really cute with it. If it doesn't look that good, I'm sure one of the little grandbabies will love it, because to me it's kind of like unicorn colors. So it'll be in to somebody. Somebody will love it. So all I'm going to do, the first one that you end up making is going to end up looking a little bit different. But then all the other petals are the same. I'm going to go ahead and start making my strips. So since it's 6 inches this way, I'm going to make sure it's 6 inches right here. So then all that I'm doing is cutting those up. You will find that it'll try to start fraying. That's okay. Later on, we can cut or hide those little, see, like that one just came right off. I don't think you can see it. It's so thin, but it works itself out. Oh, you're on the TV. That is cool. Whenever I rewatch my lives, my husband thinks I'm a little nutty, but whenever I'm done with the live, I always rewatch it just to kind of make sure that everything went okay, or if I could change something later. So I always rewatch myself, and I always put it up on my TV. And he gives me feedback as well, but he thinks I'm crazy that I watch myself. They look cute just like that too. It looked like little rainbows. I was so excited that to find this mesh for $1. I mean, you can't beat that. And I wasn't sure what I was going to make with it. And then when I saw these flowers, I thought that would be a really, really cute flower. I'm excited to. I haven't made one in this rainbow one yet, so I'm really anxious to see how it's going to look. And I need to watch how I'm stacking that too, because when I do my lives, I end up stacking things in front of me and I forget the camera is right there. Oh, Deb, they have a new one? Is it very big? Whenever we go to Wisconsin to visit family, they have a really big one in La Crosse, and I wish we had one really close to us that was that big. But I have to say, Mount Pleasant Dollar Tree has really stepped up. I went in the other day, and I didn't buy as much as I normally do because I was in shock. I mean, like, total shock. I did not realize that they had gotten so much new stuff. Their craft section is amazing. And so I went back and just started looking at stuff on a different day, just so I could see what exactly they had. And I took pictures. Oh my goodness. Doesn't take much to entertain me. Just take me to a Dollar Tree so I can buy more craft stuff. I'm good. Now, I haven't been keeping track as to how many of these I've been cutting. I only need 13 or 14, but I figure if I have extras, that's okay, because I have a feeling I am probably going to be making more of these, and I have another roll. So when you start getting to the end, you'll notice that it starts kind of, do you see how it's kind of wavy? When you first cut it, it stays nice and round, but towards the end, it gets a little wobbly, I guess is the word I would use. But it'll still work the same. You'll just have to hold it down a little bit more. Hi, Danny. Don't shut off the Doctor Who. Make sure to keep that running. If you have a choice, always watch those things. You can always watch my replay. I'll probably be watching crafting videos. That's my go-to. Although I do have some shows that I've been watching on Netflix. But I think when I'm done here, I'll probably watch crafting videos just to get some more ideas. Brent thinks I'm a little weird for that too. He's like, another one? You're watching more crafting stuff? But that's how I relax. I love watching these. That thing. This is the ribbon that I'm using, or the deco mesh. Hi, Samantha. We were just talking about that today too. this thing, I got it when years ago, I used to make teddy bears with matching blankets. And I was constantly cutting and cutting with regular scissors. And I thought, there's got to be an easier way. So you find this in the sewing section, or in the craft section. And it has this round blade on it. It has several different blades. It also has like a little wavy blade, all sorts. You can change them out. But you gotta be very careful because they're very, very sharp. And on one of my other lives, I was using it and I cut my finger. Does not take much at all. So you really gotta be careful. Always retract it when you're not using it. That's something that I have to really get used to doing. But yeah, you just push the button and then it's sharp. And then all you do is you find where you're wanting to cut. And see, I'm getting to the end of that ribbon or mesh. So it wants to kind of go wobbly. And then you just put the blade where you want it. And boom, you're done. Whoever invented this contraption is amazing. Saves on time, big time. I think as I get to the very end of this, I'm not gonna do this last bit because it is wanting to stay scrunched really quite a bit. And I'm sure I have plenty there. So I'm just gonna set it aside and I will use that later. Retract the blade. So, let's see. I've got 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. Oh yeah, I've got plenty. So, I'm just going to push these off to the side so you can see a little bit better. Oh, and before I forget, one lady had said that if you say a certain word too many times, Facebook doesn't like it. And so they've been calling it sprinkling. So what she did was she made a little sign to remind people to do it. So I made a little sign too. But I should have wrote it in reverse. Because it says, please share. But it's in reverse. And I don't know how to flip my camera. I know some people say that you can flip it. I have no clue how to do that. I'm not that tech savvy. I mean, I'm lucky enough that I know how to do a live. So if you know how to flip it to where you can read this, let me know. I'm just going to set that there. So the very first piece, so it's 6 inches this way and 6 inches this way. You're going to turn it to where it's a diamond in front of you. And since it curls inward, I'm going to have that curl towards the top. So when you have it like a diamond, you're going to put this top end down to the bottom here. And then you're going to fold this end in. And then you're going to fold this end in. So it kind of, I'll show you again. So it's the diamond. You fold it in half. Then you fold this corner in. And then you fold this corner in. Then you're just going to kind of pinch it. Probably about halfway up. So then you'll have all of this down here. Then you're going to take one of your pipe cleaners. And then you're going to get as close to that as possible. And then give it a couple twists. And then you're going to trim off quite a bit of this here. And so you're just going to leave probably that much, just a little bit. And I have my trusty old trash can right here. So I trimmed that off, and then I'm just going to let this hang here. And the first video that I watched, the lady had used a splatter screen, and she removed the little knob on there, and then she made it nice. And then at the end, she used that knob and put it on the back, so she had something to attach a hanger to. So this is the only one that you're going to fold like that. Your next one, you're going to have it like a diamond again, and you're going to go the top point to the bottom point. So then it's like this. Then you're going to go up about halfway. So here's the tip of my corner. I'm going to go up about halfway, and then I'm just going to gather it. So when I gather it, she referred to it as little jellyfish. Do you see how that kind of looks like a jellyfish? This is the tails, and this kind of curls down. So that is what you're going to make. All the rest of them, you're going to do that. And then you're going to take your pipe cleaner and just twist just a few times right at the base where these line up. And then you're going to trim off a little bit, so it'll look like that. And then I just bring this down, and I do that to all of the other ones. So we're just going to keep doing that. So you'll fold it in half after you've had it look like a diamond. Gather it about halfway up. And the one lady that I had watched, she said it does not work with Dollar Tree mesh. I got it to work pretty good. You just have to know how to cut it. So if it's 5-inch mesh, you'll cut it into 5-inch strips. If it's 10-inch, 10-inch strips. Because you want it to be a little square, so it'll form that. And just a heads up, they are sticking to each other. That's normal, because when you cut it, it has all those rough edges. You're not going to see much of those once you form your flower. I can't wait till the grandbabies come over, because I'm thinking the 10-year-old Echo, I think she would be able to make these. No problems. Joy, she's 8. I'm sure she'd be able to do it as well. She might get a little bit more frustrated, though. But they turn out so cute. And I can't wait to see how it's going to look. Because I haven't been paying attention to, is the purple side up? Is the pink side up? I'm just going willy-nilly. And just going with it. I always say the craft should not be stressful. Just go with it. 9 chances out of 10, it's going to turn out. You know, just be creative and have fun. I mean, if I wanted to, I could do all of them the same exact way. But I think it'll be a little bit more colorful if I don't pay attention to that. And if I just keep going, I think the flower is going to look a little bit better. Because I don't really want all the purple in one spot, all the pink in one spot. And see how this one kind of looks like one side's dangling down more than the other? That's okay, because once you put it inside that plastic canvas and you tie it and everything, you can mold it and tuck things where you want them. I'm going to go ahead and move this, but okay. I can't wait to have all these done so I can start assembling. And I've already pre-cut all of my pipe cleaners, so even though I have more of those of the pieces cut, I'll know when I'm done with all my pipe cleaners. And on one of them, I think I did 13, and on the other one, I did 14. But it's pretty much, you just make it as full as you want it. So there's really no right or wrong amount of petals. And on one of my next lives, I want to show you guys how to do one of these hearts. That one was really simple and quick as well. And I had somebody, I want to say they were on my page or a page that I had shared the picture to, but she was wanting to know if I had a tutorial on how to do it. And I don't, but I will gladly do one. So I'm thinking that'll probably be the next one that I do. And boy, these really do look like jellyfish. I would have never guessed. I don't know who thought of this, originally. But boy, their imagination in order to make these roses, that's awesome. Yes, when I made that, I was thinking Valentine's Day is coming. So I thought, why not do a heart? And everybody, almost every single page that I'm on, like a Dollar Tree page, they have somebody that has made those already. And I thought, why not? I'm going to get on the bandwagon and I'm going to make one too. And I love how it turned out. And I didn't even have, there was like, I just wrapped it and it turned out. I like the crafts that don't require a whole lot of thinking. And see, this one kind of looks a little wonky, but it's still going to work. And I'm going to show you after a bit when I'm done with these. All of them turn out. They all look so cool. When I made that first one and it was turning out so well, I almost squealed out loud because I did not think it was going to turn out that well for the very first time. Because I thought, well, she said to space it really close together, and some of mine were not very close together. And I kept going, oh, it's going to fall apart because it's only being held with the pipe cleaners. And when it worked, I went, oh my goodness, I love this craft. Looks like I've got 5 more to do. This one almost looks a little weird. There we go. I'm going to do it this way. I've got 4 more left. So this one and 3 more. They come together pretty quick too. I was surprised at how fast they come together because I thought it would be a little bit more complicated. And I didn't think that I would be able to mold it around. Like, I wouldn't know where to place the petals to make it look right. But I'll show you this technique that the lady was very, very informative, but she did not, she ended up swearing once in the video because she did not like where some of her placement was going, and she did not like Dollar Tree stuff. She said that she had to go purchase from like Walmart or a craft store. But if she would just come and craft with me or something, she would see it works. You just have to cut them. I think she was cutting them too long or something because mine's turning out just fine. And I don't like the stressful crafts. Crafting is my getaway. So if it's a stressful craft, 9 chances out of 10, I will dump it. Hi, Bailey. Okay, so this one here is my last petal. So I just have this nice pile of petals. They're so pretty. And I don't think my camera does these any justice. I mean, they are really cute in person. Alright, so what I'm going to do, I'm not even going to worry about where the top or the bottom is because either way it works. And then I'll just do the flower and decide then where my top is. So I'm going to take that first one that I did. You see it? That is the center of your flower. So you're just going to find, and you don't have to be precise. You don't have to map it out or anything. You just find the center of your canvas. And then all you're going to do is poke that pipe cleaner, one in each hole. And I placed them right next to each other. And you're just going to snug that up as close as possible. You're going to give it a few twists. I'm just going to use my little snippers instead of my scissors. And I'm just going to snip that off. And then see how that's poking straight up? I'm just going to bend that down. And then I'm going to bring this up. Bailey, I'm making a flower. And it's wanting to lay down, but the more petals you put on there, it's going to lift that center up. So then you're just going to take one of your petals, and then you're going to put one on this side and one on this side. And see how this forms like a V right here? So I'm going to place one petal on this side and then one petal on this side. And then the next ones, I'm going to go one up here and one down there. And I want it to be as close as possible to where I placed the other one. So I'm going to put that in there. And then I'm going to just give it a twist. And see how I'm spinning this? That's part of the reason why I really like the wreath form. It kind of helps me with that part. And then I just bend that down so it's not sticking straight up. And then I just pull the little corners. So see, I just have that on the side there. And then you're just gonna fold that around the back and around the bottom there. So that's your first petal. As you get more, it'll be easier to shape. So this one, I'm gonna go on the opposite side as close as I can. Place that in there. And then I'm just going to give it a spin. And I'll snip that off and push that down. So that's what the back is looking like so far. It looks better farther away, but it gets really bright when I get close. And then see how that's looking so far. All that you're going to do is that first one, you're going to tuck that through. This one, you're going to tuck it behind the one that you just got done placing. And then the more petals you do, the easier this will hold in place. And I'm just pulling that a little bit tight. So see how those are? Then the next one I'm going to go up here and down here. And then you're just going to, after you do those, then all that you're going to do is just place them where it looks like it needs another petal. But you want them as close to the center as possible. And I always push down that little bit. That way also when you have your hands back here, you're not poking it. And all you do is you just kind of play around with it. And the more you get, the more full that rose is. I call it a rose, but it could be, it would be a rose. It looks like one to me. So this one's going to go on the other side. love how it's turning out already. So then all you do is tuck those tails underneath. When I was first doing it, I thought, oh, these are surely going to need some glue, but I have not had to use glue yet. You just play around with it, see where they need to go. So this one I'm going to go ahead and put on this side again. And you want these as tight as possible on the back. That's what's going to hold them in place. Then you tuck that under. Looks like I'm going to need one here. Now I've got quite a few on there to where I can see where I want to put the next ones. And I wasn't sure if I was going to need anything on the back of this, like if this mesh is going to be too clear to where I won't get to see the colors. But I'll see what it looks like when it's all done. Looks so cute. I mean, you probably could glue it down if you wanted, but I haven't been gluing it. They've been holding really nice. Right now, all I'm doing is tightening. I kind of play around with it until it starts looking how I want it. So it was nice and big, and now all that I did was played around with that, and I snugged it up a little bit more. I think this is looking really cute. And as you go, the flower kind of talks to you and in a sense, and kind of lets you know where to place the next ones. So here's the end of this one, and I'm just going to wrap it around that bottom, and then that just creates another petal. It's looking so cute. Hi, Sarah. Alright, then tucking that underneath. It's looking really cute. The grandkids are going to be here Friday, and I have a feeling they're going to say they want one. What do you think so far? I mean, that's looking really cute. And I just tuck them. I'm going to do another one on this side. I almost grabbed my scissors. That would have dulled the scissors, although I don't normally have separate stuff for those either. Goodness, that is looking so cute. Oh my goodness. There we go. Danny, they really do. Every single thing that I make, they are my best customers. Liz, pretty much everything is from the Dollar Tree. The only thing in this wreath that I did not get from the Dollar Tree is the yarn. I ended up getting this fluffy yarn from Walmart when I had done dream catchers for my grandkids. And so I had leftover, and I thought that would look great. It's got all the other colors from the ribbon in it, so I figured I would use it. But the wreath form, the zip ties, the pipe cleaners, and the ribbon are all from there. I ended up getting the plastic canvas at Walmart. I got a big package of it, but I work there. I'm not sure if the Dollar Tree has plastic canvas. I haven't looked. Ours just recently got like a new section, like they updated their section of crafting stuff, so I'll have to look to see. But pretty much everything that I've gotten is from the Dollar Tree. I love that place. Everything's affordable. So all that I'm doing is tucking that petal where I want it. Then I'm just twisting this. And then I tuck it so they don't snag me. So all I'm doing is tucking those ends underneath the next petal. And they stay pretty well. But I kind of play around with it a little bit just to get it where I want it. This here is my last petal. I'm loving how it turns out. What do you guys think? I mean, I love how that turns out. And for the leaves, on the other ones I did a dark green, but this one I thought this mesh, this I got at the Dollar Tree as well. Oh, excuse me. As well. And all that I did was I cut it at an angle. And then I roll it to where that angle is straight with my ribbon. And then I will snip it right here, and then that will be one leaf. So I'll show you again. I cut it at an angle, and then I just bent it, almost like you're making a cone. And then this edge that I cut, I'm going to make sure that that is flush with that other side. And then I'm going to cut along here. That'll create my next slant for my next petal. Then I'm just going to glue the petal together. Okay, so there's one petal. So next I will do the next one. There we go. And then I'm just gluing all the edges. And on the next leaf, I will explain on how to do it again. They come together pretty quick. Okay. So when I cut that one at that slant where it met, it left it to where this one's going to line up just perfect for a leaf. So all I'm going to do is this short piece, I'm going to roll it over and tuck it onto that next side. And then that creates that cone shape to make the leaf. And then you cut that off at that slant. Really, I could make tons and tons of these. I normally just stick to 3. I like the odd numbers when it comes to this. Normally, I love even numbers, but for the leaves, I like the odd number. Depending on the craft, I have found where some of them I put 4 petals. Like that one there only has the 4 petals. And then this one has the 3. Oh, and I have to tell you guys, recently I ended up getting a cordless glue gun. I don't know why I didn't do that sooner. I am loving it. So when I place it on the stand, it charges, and then I can use whatever hand, and I don't have to worry about that cord getting in my way. Okay, so these are my leaves that I made out of the wire edge ribbon. Let's see. It says it is 2 inches by 108 inches. So there's 3 yards. And I just got it. I got it from the Dollar Tree. But I thought the dark green would probably overpower it if I used the dark green like I did on the others. So I wanted to use, oopsie. I wanted to use this kind of like a mint color because it has like a teal in there. So I will see where I want those. So I think that looks really cute. I'm going to go ahead, put a little bit of glue on there, and then I will glue that down. There's one. And I'm just putting a nice generous piece, dollop of glue on there. Put more glue in there. And then this one here. So, I was going to push that with my chin, but there we go. That works way better. Alright, so then I have that. And if I didn't think that I was seeing the colors like I wanted, I could always put like a felt backing on here, or even cover it with a cardboard. Later I probably will put felt or something on there just so it's finished, and when it goes to like hang up on a wall or something, it's not going to snag. That's really cute. So then for hanging, we can do several different ways. I have a sweater that I took it has a hood, and I took the string out of the hood. So I could use this that I had gotten from that hood, and I can make a hanger. Or I can use the same stuff that I used for the leaves, and I can make a hanger there. Or I also have a piece of the yarn that I can use to hang it as well. But it goes so quick, and it's so cute. I like how it turns out. And if you think that it's falling apart or anything, you can glue it down as you go. But I find that it holds pretty well once you get all those petals in there. At the start, it wants to kind of fall apart, and just don't give up on it. Just keep going, and it'll keep that form. But you're more than welcome to glue that down. Oh, they turn out so cute. I think I'm just going to use the little yarn to hang it. And all I'm doing is I'm pulling these apart, and then I'll put that yarn through there and tie a knot. And then that just tucks right in. And I'll get down the other one so you can see it up close. This one I used the same, it's the same size, it's the 6-inch mesh. And it doesn't even use one full roll. So one roll, you could do about a rose and a half. So they last quite a bit. And then that one there, I use the same stuff, but it was white with silver in there. I will grab that one down as well, just so you can see the different ways that I had done them. And eventually my wall will look better. I plan on getting a tapestry, but it's not in yet. And I didn't want to show the plaster wall that I had peeled all the wallpaper off of. So I just hung a thing of burlap tonight. So this is the other one. I wasn't sure if I was going to like this one because it took quite a bit to cut. I mean, that fancy little tool that I have cuts the strips of the material really well. But tying each one to the form, I didn't think I was going to want to finish it. But I love how it turned out, and it has the little specks of silver. And in the material, it has silver and gray. And then I'll show you the back. See how it looks. there's three rings. And so this middle ring, the inside ring, I did that one first. And I put all of this material on there before I put the plastic canvas on there. So I did all of this stuff first. Then I attached this, because once you have this flower on there, you're not going to want to have to go in and finagle through all that. So it's best to do your wreath first and then just do the flower after that as the center. But I really do think they turn out cute. This one, I like how it has the same colors. It has the white and the silver in the material. And then the red ties it into Valentine's Day. I figured since it's getting close, I'll also be working on St. Patty's Day stuff as well. But boy, these roses just, they turn out so well. And I'll show you, this is the one that I did on the embroidery hoop. And I didn't want to cut a whole new section. I got a big package of the plastic canvas. And I wanted, for just experimenting, I only wanted to use one sheet. So I used the main one here. And I did it off to the corner. Well, I didn't have a whole lot of space, so I just cut a little square. And then I tacked it with glue on the four corners. And you can't see that from the front because it's hidden with the leaves. And since you're working in the center, you're not really going to use all of this plastic canvas. That's just going to be there for the stability of it. And then I just hung it with a green ribbon. And around the edge, I used that wire edge ribbon that I used on the leaves, just because I wanted to give it some kind of texture, almost like a vine. But I like how this one has the gold specks in there. And it's just simple. Little simple decoration. So much different than the first one that I did. Then of course this one, I could see it in a little kid's room. A little girl would love that. Hi Robin. Yeah, I said, when was, I think it was like 2-3 days ago, I decided, well, once I did this one, I thought, yeah, I'm going to do a live and do these because I wanted to share how they turn out. And it's so simple. This one, though, I probably would not use, just my preference, I probably would not use another one of these sink strainers, just because it makes it sit up, and I don't know, I can probably set this inside something else and make it work, but I think if it was flat, I'd like it a little bit better. But I love how they turn out. And on this one, I debated whether to put leaves on this side and on this side, you know, to cover the strainer. But I'll figure something out with this one. It was just my starting point. I didn't think it was going to turn out that well. So I was prepared to scrap it. But I really do like how it turned out. So this one, I will do something with it. I just don't know what I'm going to do with it yet. And I mean, I could cut the mesh around it and then glue it to something else. And I'm sure 9 chances out of 10, that's probably what I'm going to do. I'll probably cut it right where it curves. I'll probably cut that off and glue it to where it's sits further down on something. Because right now, I think it's raised up just a little bit too much. But I suppose I could put it on a plate and put some rocks or something around it, or some greenery. I mean, that would work, and that would prop it up a little bit. So it just kind of depends on what you're wanting the flower for, as to whether or not it's going to work for you. But I have a feeling I will do more of these. I want to get different colors now for the holidays. I also have some mesh that's kind of like a cream color with gold specks in it. I wouldn't mind seeing what that one looks like. And then I have some that doesn't have, it's like a closer mesh, and it doesn't have these big openings. And that one lays a little bit more flat. So I'm probably going to try one of those just to see how that turns out. Might as well. Worst case scenario is I wouldn't use it for anything. Except for a learning experience. But boy, they sure do turn out really cute. And you can make them whatever size you're wanting, because you don't have to make them this full if you don't want to. You could stop, you could stop at that, and it would be just fine. But for me, I've been using roughly about 13 to 14 petals. That's including the center one. This one here, I used 14. The very first one, I only did 13. The one on the strainer. Do you guys think that you'd be able to try this? If you make them, let me know. Show me pictures. They turn out so cute. I don't even know if I have a favorite because I like them all. And with Valentine's coming up, you could make tons of them. And since it doesn't use a whole lot of the plastic canvas, I'm wondering if we can make it like really small, or if you use something like this, if we could attach it and make it into like a stemmed rose. Maybe I'll play around with it, and I'll have to see if I can make a stemmed one just to see if it's doable. Oh my goodness. Do you guys have a favorite on all of these? Hi, Tammy. You like the rainbow one? I like how that one turned out too. I was really excited to see what it was going to end up looking like. I have a feeling my granddaughters are probably going to fight over this one. They like it. I'm sure they're going to love it. In my next live that I do, it'll probably be later this week. Probably not Friday. Friday's my next day off. So maybe Sunday or sometime next week, I'll do my next live. And it'll end up being this heart. I will bring it a little bit closer. So this is what I will do on my next live. And this does have lights inside. You won't be able to see it right now, but it lights up. And a lot of people that have been doing those have been doing double-sided, so it's full on both sides. But I liked keeping it just one heart per craft, because I wanted my buck to go a little bit further. So on that one, all that I did was I peeled off the love, And it peels off pretty easy. And then I just painted it with a marker. So see, that comes off pretty good. It still has some little specks on there, and I just pinched those off. But I will do that one maybe next week, just to have something. I noticed it's been a while since I've done a live. I think it's been like maybe 2 weeks. So I want to try to do a little bit more, maybe once a week if at all possible. Just because this is like my sanctuary. And I know when I do the crafts and I just post pictures, everybody's like, well, do you have a tutorial on that? And I'm like, no, I just took pictures. So maybe I will start doing more lives so everybody can see the steps that I took. Otherwise, if I do just do the pictures, later down the road, I'll probably do the live. But that's my goal for this year. I'm gonna try to do a little bit more so everybody can see all the steps. But I was asked several times about that heart, and I will definitely do that to show everybody how to do it. So keep checking my page, and I will keep you posted on that. And also, I wanted to thank you guys so much because I had checked my page right before I went live. I'm at 399 followers. That just blows my mind. When I get 400, I'm going to draw 2 names. And the 2 people that I draw will receive just a little special something. So just to kind of give back. I like that you guys enjoy watching my videos and like watching me craft. This is like my go-to to keep all the crazy out there and gets my mind working on other things. So I really appreciate all of you, and I thank you guys for watching. I'm going to go ahead and show you these again before I close. I don't know if that can you see the silver specks? I love how that one turned out. And until I get my tapestry, I will probably hang all of these up on that wall just so I have some kind of decoration for my backdrop. And then this one. Deb, thank you. I am just so grateful. I never would have imagined that I would reach this many people. I was very surprised when I reached 100, and then when I reached 200, I'm like, this is crazy. I didn't even know I knew that many people, or that many people would be interested in this sort of thing. I craft almost daily, so I just did not, it blows me away. I did not think anybody would watch any of this. And then there's that one. And then this one. And you never know, I might just I know I keep saying that I don't care for it, but maybe if I put it on something and then layer stuff underneath it, maybe I'll like it more. If you have ideas, message me or put them all in the comments of what you think I should do with this, or if I should decorate it some more somehow. Give me ideas. These crafts are just as much yours as they are mine. I love being able to visit with you guys and get your input on it. So message me, comment, sprinkle the videos. That's true. And with the pandemic, you know, I think everyone's getting tired of being indoors. And so crafting kind of helps keep off of the devices. So I'm just glad everybody tunes in with me so I can get interaction with you guys as well. But I'm going to go ahead and get off of here and look and see some more crafts. And again, I will post pictures of all of these together. And then I'll also post a date and time of when I do the heart. So I'm going to show you one more time, and then I'm going to let you guys go. Getting off of here is always the hardest because I love visiting with you guys. So there's that one. And that one. I think all of the roses are about the same size. It's just the backings are different, and so it makes them look different sizes. Okay, so I'm going to let you guys go, and then I will finish taking pictures and thinking up some more crafts and get all my stuff for my next live. I really do appreciate you guys logging in and seeing and watching this. Make sure you sprinkle the video. I know it's backwards. If you know how to flip this, let me know for my next one, and I will flip it so you can read what it says. Otherwise, if we can't flip it, I will use the other side and write it backwards so you can see it. So thank you again, and you guys have a great night. I hope you can watch my next live, and here's to getting 400 people, and I will definitely draw 2 names and get some gifts out to them. So have a great night. Thank you again. See ya.